Let's talk about something they don't teach in school. Confidence, not arrogance, not ego. I'm talking about that unshakable belief deep in your bones that says, I've got this. Because in this world, it's not always the smartest who win. Not the fastest, not even the strongest. It's the one who believes when nobody else does. You see, confidence isn't given, it's built, brick by brick, failure by failure, and yes, scar by scar. Confidence is what makes you get up after life hits you with everything it's got. It's the fire that whispers, try again. Speak up, show up, even when your hands shake, even when the world doubts you, even when you doubt you. People will try to talk you out of your dreams. They'll say, be realistic. They'll say, it's too hard. They'll say, who do you think you are? You look 'em dead in the eye and say, I'm confident, that's who I am. Not because everything's perfect, but because you've decided you're enough. You've decided you'll improve. You've decided that fear won't run your life anymore. That's confidence, not noise, not flash, but action in the face of doubt. So the next time life tests you, don't shrink, stand up, speak loud, move forward, because confidence doesn't wait for permission. It chooses itself, and starting today, so should you. Confidence is belief in yourself, built, not given. It doesn't come in a gift box. No one hands it to you. No one can inject it into your bloodstream. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to build it with your own hands, and here's the truth: you don't start with it. You start with doubt. You start with fear. You start with that small, trembling voice that asks, can I really do this? And then you show up anyway. You try, you fall, you fail, you rise, and every time you get back up, you build another layer of confidence. Every time you do something uncomfortable, every time you speak, when your voice shakes, every time you take a step, when your legs feel weak, you are building it. Not from perfection, not from applause, but from showing up imperfectly and doing it anyway. Confidence doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It's what you develop by acting before you feel ready. You think people are born with it? They are not. You think it's natural. It's not. Confidence is built in the dark, quiet moments, when no one sees you, when no one is cheering, when it's just you and that choice, give up or go again. It's forged in repetition. It's grown through pain. It's tested in chaos. And the more you test yourself, the more you stretch yourself, the more you prove to yourself that you can. Confidence is a muscle. Use it and it grows. Neglect it and it fades. So start where you are, with what you have right now. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to feel brave. You just need to take one step, then another, then another. Because every step forward, even the smallest one, builds belief. And that belief becomes your foundation, your fire, your fuel. Confidence isn't built in the comfort zone. It's built on the edge, where growth lives. Where truth lives, where you meet the version of you that doesn't back down. And once you build that belief, nothing can stop you. It's not about being the smartest or strongest. It never has been. The world is full of brilliant minds who never speak up. It's full of talented people who never step forward, because intelligence and strength mean nothing. If you don't believe in yourself, you could have the best ideas, the biggest dreams, the highest potential, but if you don't believe you're worthy of it, if you don't believe you can achieve it, it all stays locked inside you. Confidence is the key that opens the door, not perfection, not genius, belief. You've seen it, people with half the talent, half the skill, rising higher. Not because they're better, but because they believed they could, and they acted on that belief. They walked into rooms like they belonged. They tried when others hesitated. They spoke when others stayed silent. They moved forward even when the odds said they shouldn't, and that belief, it creates momentum. Momentum builds action, and action changes everything. That's the difference. Not what you asterisk have asterisk, but what you asterisk believe about yourself asterisk. There will always be someone smarter, someone faster, someone with more experience, but none of that matters if they don't believe in themselves, and none of it can stop you if you do. Belief is your advantage. Belief is your weapon. It makes you resourceful when you don't know the way. It makes you resilient when things fall apart. It makes you powerful even when you feel small, because belief creates action, and action creates change. You don't need to be the best in the room. You just need to asterisk believe asterisk that you belong there. That's when everything shifts, not when the world sees your worth, but when asterisk you asterisk do. When you believe in yourself, doors open. When you believe in yourself, people listen. When you believe in yourself, you give others permission to do the same. That's the kind of power belief holds. It can turn an underdog into a leader, a whisper into a roar, and a single step into a whole new future. Confidence is built through adversity, not when things are easy, not when everything goes your way, but when life pushes you to the edge and you don't back down. It's in the struggle, in the late nights, in the quiet moments when no one's watching, when you keep going, even when it hurts, that's where confidence is born. People think confidence is something you're born with. They think it shows up when you succeed, but the truth is, confidence comes from surviving the storm, from walking through fire and realizing you didn't burn. Every setback, every rejection, every failure isn't the end. It's a test, and if you pass that test, even once you grow stronger, you get louder inside. You start saying, I've been through worse. I've come too far to quit. That's what adversity does. It strips away the lies. It shows you who you really are, and it gives you the proof that you are more powerful than you thought. Think about it. When have you grown the most? When everything was perfect, or when you were knocked down and had to claw your way back up? Confidence doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the asterisk climb asterisk, from fighting through the fear, from showing up on the days you wanted to disappear. It's in the failure that didn't break you, the loss that didn't define you, the pain that didn't stop you. That's where you learn what you're made of. And every time you survive something hard, you build a little more belief. You carry those scars like armor, not shame, because each one says, I didn't give up. And that message, repeated enough times, becomes confidence. So if you're in the middle of something hard right now, don't run from it. Don't wait for it to be over. Use it, because this moment, this challenge, this adversity is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you to walk into the world not just hoping you can handle it, but asterisk knowing asterisk you already have. Fear is natural, but confidence acts anyway. Everyone feels fear. The ones who seem fearless, they're not. They've just learned how to move asterisk with asterisk fear instead of running from it. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It tells you that you're stepping into the unknown, that you're about to grow, that you're doing something that matters. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Your heart races, your hands sweat, your thoughts get loud, chaotic, doubtful. But confidence doesn't wait for the fear to disappear. It takes the fear along for the ride. It says, I see you, but I'm going anyway. Because waiting for fear to vanish is a trap. It keeps you stuck, keeps you silent, keeps you small. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the asterisk decision asterisk that fear won't make your choices. It's standing on the edge of the unknown and saying, I'm scared, but I won't let that stop me. Because every time you act in spite of fear, you take your power back. You prove to yourself that fear is just noise, not truth. Confidence grows in those exact moments, when your knees shake, but you step forward anyway, when your voice trembles, but you speak anyway, When your mind screams, "What if?" and you answer, "So what?" fear may visit you. But it doesn't get to stay in control. Confidence knows that the only way out is through the fear, through the doubt, through the storm, and each time you make it through, you come out stronger. You come out braver, you come out with more proof that you can face hard things. Confidence doesn't mean you're fearless, it means you're fearless enough to try to show up, to risk, to rise, because fear may knock, but confidence answers. And when it does, everything changes. You stop playing small. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop asking for permission. You move and that movement, that's where the magic is. That's where growth begins. And that's where you find out you never needed to be fearless. You just needed to be brave enough to go on anyway. Most people will doubt you, especially when you're growing, not because you're wrong, not because you're not capable, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. When you start changing, it reminds them of the parts of themselves they've ignored. When you aim higher, it shines a light on their fears. When you begin to believe in yourself, some will try to pull you back. Not because they hate you, but because they don't understand the version of you that's emerging. They know the old you, the quiet one, the agreeable one, the one who stayed in the box, but growth means outgrowing those boxes, outgrowing people, outgrowing limits, and not everyone will celebrate that. Some will laugh, some will criticize. Some will say, "You've changed, and you know what, good. You're supposed to. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve, to rise, to become something greater than what you were yesterday." And that means walking roads alone sometimes. That means being misunderstood. It means being doubted, especially by those closest to you. But don't let that stop you, because their doubt doesn't define your worth. Their fear doesn't get to dictate your future. They don't have your vision. They don't carry your purpose. They haven't lived your story. So don't shrink just to fit their comfort. Don't hide your growth to make others feel safe. Keep growing, keep learning, keep showing up as the next version of you, even if it rattles people, because your growth is not a threat, it's a light. And sometimes when people live too long in the dark, the light hurts their eyes. But that's not your fault. That's their choice. Your job is to keep going, to trust your process, to protect your path, and to understand their doubt is often just a reflection of their own limitations. But you're not limited, you're growing, and that growth will lead you somewhere they can't yet see. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. You don't need anyone to nod in approval. You don't need them to clap for you before you start. You don't need a green light to chase your dream. The truth is, most people won't understand your vision. They won't see what you see. They won't feel what you feel, and that's okay, because your belief in yourself isn't up for debate. It's not a vote. It's not a group decision. It's a choice, and it starts with *U. Stop waiting for someone to say, "You're ready." Stop waiting for a sign, a mentor, a moment. You *are* the moment. You *are* the permission. You *are* the spark. Belief begins when you decide that you're worthy, not perfect, not finished, but worthy, worthy of trying, worthy of growing, worthy of becoming. You weren't born to stay silent. You weren't born to fit in the mold they built for you. You weren't born to live someone else's definition of enough. You're here to rise, to speak, to walk your own path, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Even if they roll their eyes, even if they say, "Who do you think you are?" You look in the mirror and answer, "I know exactly who I am." Someone who no longer waits to be chosen. Someone who chooses themselves. Someone who understands that belief is the foundation and everything else is built on top of it. You don't need a title. You don't need a degree. You don't need a crowd of people cheering. All you need is one voice, yours, telling you to move, telling you to try, telling you to keep going, because the moment you stop seeking approval is the moment you start building real power, not borrowed power. Asterisk your asterisk power, so stand tall, even if you stand alone. Start now, even if no one gets it yet. Believe boldly, even if your voice shakes, because you never needed permission, only the courage to give it to yourself. Confidence isn't loud ego, it's quiet resilience. It doesn't need to scream, it doesn't need to prove anything, it doesn't show off or beg for attention. Real confidence moves differently. It walks into a room without needing the spotlight. It doesn't need applause to feel strong, because it knows where its strength comes from, and it's not from what people think. Confidence isn't about puffing your chest out, it's about standing tall inside. It's about knowing who you are when no one's watching. It's about holding your ground when life shakes you. Loud ego tries to impress. Quiet confidence doesn't try, it just asterisk is. Asterisk, you see it in the way someone carries themselves. In the calm when things fall apart. In the patience when others rush. In the silence that doesn't need to be filled. Confidence doesn't demand attention. It earns respect through presence, through consistency. Through quiet strength. Ego wants to be seen. Confidence is okay being unseen because it's not chasing approval. It's built on something deeper. It's built on experience, on falling and rising, on lessons earned the hard way. It's the voice that says, I've been through enough to know I'll be okay. You won't find it in people who always need to win. You'll find it in the ones who know how to lose and keep going. Confidence doesn't talk down to others. It lifts, it listens, it leads without shouting. It understands that power doesn't have to be loud. In fact, the strongest people are often the quietest ones in the room. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they don't need to say it to feel whole. They don't need the noise. They have peace, and peace is power. Confidence isn't built by crushing others. It's built by lifting yourself, day by day, until you realize you've become unshakable. Not because you never break, but because you know how to rebuild, and you do it with grace, with grit, with quiet resilience that doesn't need to roar, because it knows still waters run deep. Decision fuels confidence, not talent, not luck, not even timing, but the moment you decide everything changes. Confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you step into. The power comes the moment you say, I'm doing this. No more maybe, no more someday, no more waiting for the stars to align. Because clarity doesn't come before the decision, it comes after. You gain confidence by choosing a direction, choosing to show up, choosing to believe, even when it's uncertain, even when you're scared, even when nothing around you says you'll succeed. Confidence is born in commitment, when you stop second guessing, when you stop hesitating, when you stop looking around for someone to confirm it's okay. That moment you decide, really decide, you create movement, and movement creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need the entire staircase. You just need to take the first step and decide not to turn back. Every decision you make sharpens your identity. It says, this is who I am now. I'm the kind of person who shows up. I'm the kind of person who takes the shot. Even if I miss, even if I fail, even if no one claps. Because the decision to act, to begin to trust yourself, that's where the confidence comes from. It doesn't come from the result. It comes from the courage to choose. Every time you make a decision that aligns with your growth, you build more belief. You prove to yourself that you can handle what comes next. The people who look the most confident, they've just made more decisions. They've failed more, they've risked more, but they kept deciding, kept moving, kept growing, because confidence isn't something you hope for, it's something you decide into existence. asterisk one choice at a time. And the strongest choice you can ever make is to bet on yourself. Confidence comes from consistency, not from one big win, not from a perfect moment, but from the small, steady actions repeated over time. Confidence isn't a switch you flip, it's a habit you build, one day at a time, one choice at a time. Every time you show up when it's hard, you gain a little more trust in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your foundation. That's what real confidence is built on. Not hype, not luck, but discipline, repetition, doing it again and again, and again, even when no one sees, even when it's boring, even when the results feel far away. Because the process is what shapes you, not the outcome. It's in the quiet grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the moments you feel like quitting but don't. That's where confidence lives. It doesn't shout. It doesn't rush. It grows slowly. But when it's built through consistency, it becomes unshakable. Because you you can rely on yourself. You've seen what you're capable of not just once, but over and over again. It's not about feeling motivated every day. It's about showing up whether you feel like it or not. That's where the shift happens. That's where belief turns into proof. You stop saying, I hope I can, and start saying, I will. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. Because you're committed. Because you've shown yourself, I follow through. Even when it's tough, even when progress is slow, confidence doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in consistency, in the reps, in the effort, in the quiet decisions you make when no one's watching. Anyone can be confident for a moment, but lasting confidence, that's earned through repetition. Through showing up again and again until your actions speak louder than your doubts. Until your history reminds you you don't just talk about it. You live it. Real confidence transforms your life. It doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you live. It changes how you walk into a room, how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you respond when life gets tough. Because confidence isn't just a feeling, it's a force. A shift in how you see yourself, a new standard for how you allow the world to treat you. With real confidence, you stop settling, you stop shrinking, you stop apologizing for wanting more, you start asking for what you deserve. You start taking up space without guilt. You stop waiting for someone to choose you and you choose yourself. It transforms your relationships. You stop chasing people who don't value you. You start surrounding yourself with energy that lifts you. You start saying no without fear and yes without doubt. Because real confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about alignment. Alignment with who you are, with what you want, with what you you're capable of becoming. You stop pretending, you stop performing, you become real. Unapologetically real. Confidence gives you the courage to show up as yourself, not the version the world expects. And that changes everything. It transforms your work. Your dreams get bolder. Your voice gets louder. You stop holding back. You take risks. You push limits. Because you no longer fear failure the same way. You trust that you can handle what comes. You trust yourself to figure it out. That's what confidence does. It unlocks doors that fear used to keep shut. It pulls possibilities out of places you once thought were impossible. And suddenly, you don't just survive life. You create it, you shape it, you lead it. Confidence doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you more powerful, more honest, more alive. It turns your voice from a whisper into something unshakable. And once you've felt that power, you never want to live without it again.